All right, welcome to the finals. The finals of the TeamDiffOpen. Bitfix versus B5 Esports. It's a very cool matchup, very fun matchup that we're going to see here. I'm expecting an Udia ban. An Ivia. Okay. I expected the classic from last time. I was expecting to see the Udia, and I was expecting to see the Aphelios.
The first ban coming out is Anivia, though, from blue side, a very strong champion with the slows and the stuns. The second ban B5's going to respond with is, are they going to respond with their
Yep.
top laner again? It's the Udyr.
Udia ban, keep it simple. Thresh ban.
That
Okay.
is an interesting ban that we actually haven't seen yet. Nor is a very popular pick from times. Arguably, people tend to pick, other supports over Fresh. However, the ban is going to be, possibly a really smart move from Bitfix.
Yeah, I'm just gonna expect an Aphelios ban here. Just the way it goes. Volibear this time. Okay, that makes sense as well. They did just have a pretty good game on a Volibear.
That Volibear was a really strong component of their team. Getting that gone means that could give B5 the leverage. The Bard as well, obviously a classic ban against B5 for some reason, being that Bard pick. However,
Aphelios.
yeah, the Aphelios ban coming out, that one was a given already.
Okay, it's nice once they've seen them fight before, so you know what's gonna happen. You know there's a Dodia ban, you know there's a Bard ban. Aurora's picked again. Azia maybe picked again. This feels like there's a little bit of a meta going on inside this tournament, right? Like everybody's sort of picking the same 20 champions, it feels like. Azia picked first pick. See what the response of it's going to be. I feel like you're
Yeah,
going to be picking ADC support here if I was going to be
honest,
B5. But
honestly, smart fit from Bitfix here. The Azir was really good for them in that previous game, I believe. So picking it again, opening their options, with their support and their top laner is really good. But it does mean an AD jungle is going to need to come out from Bitfix's side. The Kaiser coming out blind to the ADC. Again, I think this is just going to go back down to comfort picks again and what they work really well on. So potentially, we're seeing a mid counter or a jungle pick potentially here, coming out from B5 on their R2 pick.
really slow roll in this
Banning
one though. I really wanna make sure they're getting the right pick in, exploring their
the
options,
Sin-
making it like an actual thought process. Here we are with the Corki again.
yeah, the Corki, the Syndra coming out, just comfort picks again. Both teams know that they do really good on.
Nautilus is the B3. Nautilus B3, Corki is here. It's a very nice sort of chill comp, very
Oh,
competitive esque.
yeah, very standard competitive-esque setup. The Nautilus with the Corki providing an engage for Corki just to like leech on with his rockets, his damage. It does mean that Bitfix do expose their bot lane, though, most likely opening up B5 to just a simple support pick here, being the Maokai,
Wow.
potentially factoring that in the jungle too. Yeah, I think we were watching it towards the end of the game. B5, their comms were they did enjoy the Maokai champion, but they found it a bit boring this game. They didn't really do much in their opinion, but they won with it. So it might be boring, but it's going to get them the win, hopefully. Opening up the fourth ban here now for B5. What are they going to pick? They have to go with their top laner or jungle here, right? This Cassante coming out.
Casante ban. Yeah, I mean that they're probably gonna ban both top laners, and then they're gonna look to counter pick top. Is what my guess would be. I feel like I would ban tops as well if I was Bitfix. If I was Bitfix, I'd be banning two top laners and first picking something that you've just banned the counters for. Brawn ban. Get away from
The
the
Braum
Kaiser.
coming out. Yeah, they're very much suspecting that Malco to be rather in the jungle than support. But is it going to be what they need?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Well,
That you don't really see that many Maokais in support nowadays, and it's pretty strong in the jungle. Gives it so much vision. Just sort of throw them out, throw a sapling in a bush. Just get rid of any problems that you're gonna have with vision.
exactly. Very much delays their engages, forces them to play slow, bait out those saplings or go around them. What can they really respond with the Camille going out, which most likely means that they've got a blind top pick here that they really want. I see, Jax being a possibility. Maybe perhaps like another Ornn or a Scion again is going to be what, they might go for. Or, you know, we could see something interesting like a Garen coming out potentially, or like an Aatrox or a Gnar.
Yeah, I wonder what the jungle pick's going to be for Bitfix as well, because they're holding on to that. They're holding on to that jungle pick against the Maokai. I think Maokai's not the greatest early game jungler. I think he's not that strong in a 1v1 at all, really. Like, he's just he's a very teamfight orientated champion, isn't he? He kind of just lives. Wait, it is in the support. They pick away the
It is
Wukong.
in the or perhaps they've gone Wukong top lane. It is also a possibility. They are
Maokai could be
playing
top
many.
lane.
No, Maokai or Wukong. They're
Well,
both
Maokai
really
could
good
be top.
picks here. It could potentially be indeed. Which does make sense. It doesn't make sense. Potentially because they've got the Wukong in the jungle right now, potentially because they've got the AP mid. The Maokai's not going to be jungle with that because it's going to be just too much AP in the top side to where it's not really going to, you know, do too much for them, I believe. But it does leave Bitfix most likely open to a jungle pick here. Well, they're going to have to pick top jungle anyway. The Mordekaiser is coming back out again. Honestly, a smart move. I think Mordekaiser here taking out one of their core members is going to be really smart.
It's pretty funny that the Maokai was picked on R3, and then Bitfix bans a support in a top lane, and then Maokai just is the top laner. You know, like they just kind of put it in the role that they thought they were banning. So they just banned at least one useless champion because they thought it was jungle, but it wasn't neither of the two that they thought it was.
Mm.
Nah, Mordekaiser nah. Mordekaiser jungle.
Mordekaiser jungle would be not top.
It's Norda's jungle. I'm just an idiot. It's Norda's jungle, right?
No,
Wait,
it's
no,
not.
it can't be. It's Mordekaiser's.
It can't be. Yeah, it's Mord in the jungle.
What?
Mord is still a really strong jungler. Not picked that often, but he's still really strong. He's got really fast, well, not really fast clear speeds, but Wukong finishes his clear about 335. Mord can finish it in about 330, 320. Yeah,
Okay.
the Silas coming out. The Silas coming out is this. It seems like that B5 were playing the long game. What are they doing? Are we potentially seeing a Silas in the top here, or is it a Silas mid with Senju, you know, flexing between those two lanes? I really wonder.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy draft for Bitfix to draft in the final game. You know, final best of one, and you draft Mordekaiser in the jungle, and they must know something we don't. You know, they must know that Wukong is just getting annihilated by Mordekaiser in the jungle, or like something weird is happening. But it's a crazy pick, or maybe the Wukong is just very strong into Maokai. Like, sorry, maybe Gnar is strong into Maokai, or something. But I feel like you don't need to pick Mordekaiser in that scenario. The Mordekaiser pick is very
Very interesting pick here, but I think it's just because the Wukong clone is what they're worried about. The Wukong going invisible, the Mordekaiser passive obviously deals like constant flash of damage, which does reveal the Wukong. And the Mordekaiser E can just stop most engages, potentially, you know, pushing them away, which is kind of what you want into a Maokai phase about to start. This is intense. I am on the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, let me turn down the really dramatic music as well from the draft phase. I think last game I had that going the entire game just for dramatic effect throughout the whole thing. But this time we will take it off. We will listen to the ambient noise of the game and see where it takes us. This is the bush that everybody is sat in. Every team that's played red side this game today has sat in this bush and waited for them to ward. And they got double wards.
The double ward coming out. You don't got to ward twice. You got to ward. You can't just ward once. You got to ward twice just to make sure you've really got the vision in there.
Yeah, 2 wards are better than 1. That is the
But now they know
saying.
that the Wukong is top side, which means that Nautilus and Corki can just walk in. They're going to expect the Maokai to be walking towards bot side here. Maokai's going to understand this, take the safe way around. He's going to go through the lane bush and walk through the lane bush.
Respectfully walks down through the lane, nice and easy. Is he going to get hooked on his way in? He is.
Corki is. Corki isn't resonant though. Corki walks off, not expected to hit it. The Maokai goes in. Corki is going to be focusing that Maokai, but is it just enough? Not really. Kaiser's damage for the 2 isolated targets kind of shares it between them both, bring them both really low.
Yeah, they've got to get them low. It is a good trade for for B5, but it's not a winning. It's not winning the lane.
Burden, obviously getting really lucky there. Bunny decided to step back, not thinking Nautilus would go in a bit of miscommunication there from Bitfix. But the flash in, or the flash away, sorry, it just isn't enough. Kaiser going down, Maokai getting the hook. Yeah. Kaiser going down, but the Maokai does get hit in the meantime. Obviously a bit of collateral damage there, but it's damage nonetheless. Corki healthy, Nautilus also kind of healthy, meaning they can just walk up, stand there. There's not much that B5 can do into Bitfix.
This Gnar looks miserable in the Silas. That was the final pick. That was R5 pick with Silas into Gnar, and it looks not very good right now for the... Oh, he jumps back into the Gnar stun. He's gonna die.
Silas...
Oh, he just dodges away from the Q there.
I don't think it's enough. Obviously the third hook going out on Naut again, pushing him into the backlines, but it's not enough there. He has to flash and ignite out, meaning he does lose both his Psalms. Maokai obviously exchanging his ignite in the process, meaning that B5 are up on summoners right now and are up on HP, support and ADC wise. Sendra getting a little bit burst damage on the Zir.
Yeah, he takes a bit of tower damage down there, which is the major difference really. Only one support, I just realised I got my Maokai is in the wrong slot, but only one support has taken Spellbook here. The Maokai is not. Maokai's flashing forward though. He looks for Nodus. Nodus has no flash. He's gonna get isolated by the Q, and might be going down. He does go down. Barrier takes him out and gets away very nicely with his E.
That is the first blood of the finals. Wukong coming down with the Maokai. Maokai walking in, tanking the Corki E, but it's just not enough. Corki's going to get the kill first. He's going to flash out and E out, meaning Corki does get on the win of that. Maokai just walking in a bit too quickly there. Not enough time for the Wukong to get into lane and manage to find that WE angle. That's very unfortunate there.
Yeah, he does get his flash out though, which is quite good for the Corki. He only got barrier, I think. He got barrier and flash, which is nice. This is maybe what we're seeing. Which it should happen, the Silas into the Gnar. Gnar does have TP. It looks like Silas has recalled and TP back already, so it's not going
he did
so
have
well.
to after that bad trade level 2 where he did, get all of his health rinse. Nautilus attempts to go for a roam in the mid lane. Nautilus sensing this again, just having that spider tingly feeling, knows what he's doing. The Syndra attempting to go for the recall, which does leave Maokai alone. Azir is there, so I'm just going to TP back really quickly, getting that item advantage on top of the Azir, meaning that, Bitfix just have to poke and leave. Maokai slightly lower than normal, not having vision on the Nautilus. The Nautilus knows this and is going to attempt to make a play. They're not TPing back.
Not TPing back into the Wukong. Oh, he jumps over the top of him and gets out. There's no way he gets out like that. Very nice play from Gnar. Little bing bong. Wait, does he manage to finish him off here? Wukong has nothing. He has to flash away, flash forward. That was a little bit optimistic to flash forward for that.
The Bus just getting a bit too optimistic there with the tower damage, thinking he could just get it, but I think it was an unlucky play with the vision manipulation from Wukong, playing that really well, playing it around his abilities just perfectly. This does put Silas, back ahead of the Gnar. Despite that level 2, Silas has managed to pull it back with that misplay.
Yeah, he loses a lot of CS and a lot of XP there. As you can see, the turret, a lot of minions down to that turret in top lane.
The Cloud Drake is up for the first time in these 3-4 games. It's going to be the first Drake that's different. The Cloud Soul, which means it's less likely to be the Cloud Drake, less likely to be the Cloud Soul. That could be really good, which opens up, Hextech Soul, Chemtech Soul, Infernal, Ocean. Very good choices for both teams here. Obviously, Red side, in my opinion, leaning more towards, the Ocean or the Infernal Soul.
The ults are coming up for all the players here, so I'll have to see what they want to do with that. Ults are coming up, Dragon's up, looking for a fight in the bot lane. Trying to get vision in the bot lane river. Nodus is a little bit early here. Not going to get caught out though, because Maokai isn't really going to range to do anything with that. Just trying to get the prio in the bot lane. Wukong's going to go for a lane gank, maybe.
Indeed, Red side are so pushed up that they're going to be wanting that push. Wukong's going to cover, but is he going to go in? No, he's not. Norto's going to get hooked. Red team are just going to give up. They're going to realize that Mordekaiser's there and just say, no, not today. They're just going to give the one and lose the Drake. That is very unfortunate there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially with the wave being frozen. A little bit of a fight in the top lane. This is the Silas ult that we talked about. Looks like he is absolutely one shot. Wait, maybe not. This is a close fight. He gets a stunned up, and oh my god, 1 HP. Gnar takes down Silas. There's your R5 counter pick. And there it goes down to into a solo bolo, as they call it. in the top lane.
A solo bolo by that Gnar. They're not playing that fight basically, you know, recovering from his mistakes perfectly. Sylas, again, like we said, used that ult, being able to instantly shove the Gnar into the wall after Gnar just did it to him. It was, you're going to throw me into the wall, I'm going to throw you back twice as hard with the burst damage too. The only downside is Sylas kind of just walked into the Gnar. He was on cooldown, the Sylas's ability, so Gnar could just, you know, drop in the little fist on the bonk, slamming him into the ground and obviously taking the kill with it.
Yeah, very well played from the Gnar there. They've actually swapped their bot lane to top lane, which is what we've seen them do in previous games. Obviously for the grubs that's coming up in 25 seconds, a little bit of a skirmish as well in the jungle, but nothing's going to come from that. If there is something that comes from it, nope. Okay.
The Wukong obviously wanted to take down the Nautilus. That Nautilus is their main engage, the main hook. The main one to take, you know, red team out of position. Sylas is going to attempt to go on the ADC, but it's not going to be enough. That Corki rocket's going to hurt more than he expected. Red team are going to attempt to scuffle towards top side to try and save that Sylas. Corki are not back off, waiting for their, you know, advantage.
Yeah, they've actually kept their top laner here, which is actually a little bit stronger. Wait, the Kaiser's getting engaged on by the Gnar. Kaiser has flash though, he should be fine. He gets ult away, he's completely fine there. A little bit of a skirmish again in the top side. Maybe there's going to be a full-on engage. No, it doesn't look like it. Still 4v4 on this top side. Just trying to fight around grubs. They're going to start it up.
The grubs obviously going to go to blue side here. Wukong being a bit, Sylas being a bit low. They're not going to risk the engage. So red side is just going to give the grubs. Now they're deciding to make that play again. You know, they were like, shit, we just gave grubs a free. Maybe we should. But red side B5 is just being like, no. It's not the play, not the choice. Besides, it's going to sit top side, attempt to take that farm. It's not going to be quick enough though. The Nautilus hook's going to come out. The Sylas responding back, but it's not enough. The Nautilus stun just goes down and Sylas drops with it.
Yeah, Corki just too much damage and too much CC from Nautilus stops anything from the Sylas coming out. Doesn't use his E, doesn't use his W. Barely gets off his Q before he dies. Looking for a little bit of an engage on the mid lane here. There is an ultimate available for both sides of the map. Are we going to see an ult out for Syndra? Is that a spectator bug? He doesn't even throw it.
No, he doesn't even throw it. He doesn't even choose to. That is questionable right there. I believe potentially maybe they had it, so they wanted to save it, but I'm not entirely sure. Syndra's now going to step up, thinking his ears back, but the Mordekaiser is just around the corner. The flash coming out, the knock away, like I said, from the Syndra are going to be coming out. Attempt to throw the ball back on the Azir, but chooses not to. Hesitates instead. Mordekaiser getting the 1, 2, 3. The Syndra flash doesn't predict the E wrong and goes down.
I think that's going to be a very tilting moment there. Like, I think that he's a little bit nervous, and in the 1v1 just makes that little bit of a mistake of not real, or maybe not realizing his ult, or his ult maybe isn't up because it might be a spectator bug, but definitely should have ulted there. Definitely is a kill onto Azir, and then he doesn't have to overplay his hand and die to the Mordekaiser as well. Like, it's very unfortunate the way that fight turned out.
I'm not sure what the difference is, but from the previous games, it seems B5, you know, they're a bit slacking. Their concentration's just dropping.
Yeah,
you know, we saw B5 earlier.
To Kaiser as well. Kaiser gets out with his life, but only barely. Skin of his teeth. Has to give up this turret, I think, or give up some plates in the turret. Wukong gonna come down and.
B5 earlier was playing like a perfect game, like they made no mistakes, but now they're just lacking. The Gnar coming out onto SCG, the knock-up going into the wall, the Sylas missing, Gnar stepping back, and another solo bolo from Gnar. Oh my god, the counter pick on Sylas isn't working as well as they wanted it to. The Wukong coming down bot lane, attempting to stop the push from blue side. Blue side only getting a plate for that, but Bust has taken down 1 and 2 plates for top side.
He even gets 3. That play that he did in top where he messed up and he flashed forward for the Wukong and then Wukong managed to kill him. Like, that happened and he's still 2-1 with 30 CS up on this Sylas. What has been going on in this top lane? And now Sylas is so far behind.
I'm not even sure myself. Again, it just looks like B5 as a team are just... Something's not clicking here. I think they need to lock in soon. They need to get that click going. Because otherwise, if they don't, it's just going to end up into a further, you know, downcline for the economy of B5. Bitfix obviously playing this game really well. Having Mordekaiser with the, you know, the item advantage on top of Wukong having 1 complete item and, you know, 4 stacks of Dark Seal. Along with just 30 CS up. Azir getting a plate there. The Syndra ult coming out, but it's not enough to take down Azir.
Yeah, it is a long day. It is a long day. We can see some mistakes. In comes the Wukong looking trying to make something happen. Mordekaiser holds his ult, luckily, because he could have ulted the clone there. Kaiser coming in to do some damage. The Mordekaiser ults the Wukong on the top. Wukong flashes away. Down goes Maokai as the sacrificial lamb of this, but Wukong will go down too. Maybe Mordekaiser will go down. Flash away from Kaiser. And another skirmish in the top lane. Another 1v1. Can he get his Mega Gnar? He does get his Mega Gnar, which is absolutely massive for this fight. But they both go away. Maybe. Salas is going to get chased, I think, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything to finish him off.
Gnar does need to chase out the Salas, though. The Syndra are hot on their tail. Gnar just has to run away, get back to the safety of his tower. Bot side here, not doing very well. Both of them having members full.
Yeah.
I had a lot of hope here for the Maokai support, but it just doesn't seem to be doing what they need to its game. He's got like the great ult there, but it just no one could do anything to follow up on it.
Yeah, I mean, it is only a 3k gold lead. It's not the worst thing in the world. Some skirmishes could go their way. Syndra, Kai'Sa, Wukong, very strong in the mid game. Even Sylas is pretty strong in the mid game. So they could just see some crazy skirmishes. Maybe Azir gets one shot, maybe Corki gets one shot, and then your game flips on its head a little bit. But it's going to take a little bit of some mistakes from Bitfix in this game in order for B5 to make their way back.
Regardless of the potential mistakes, Buster's going in again, taking down SCG, stunning them, slamming them into the wall, giving them a good old 1-2 slap of Salas flash to dodge it. Salas sidestepping the Gnar Q and just manages to survive. While in the meantime, Blue just get the Drake for free. Red side backed off. I'm not sure what happened here, but Red side are just hesitating. Are they just playing the long game, giving the early Drakes? Azir's going to go in onto the Syndra, going to miss the Shurima shuffle.
He's going back in. This guy's a crazy person. Manages to die to the Gnar. That was very optimistic again. Optimism from both sides. We like to see it, optimism from the Gnar early in the game and some more optimism from the Sylas to go for a Gnar kill that he probably shouldn't be going for. Mordekaiser's going to give a little bit of a trade onto Wukong. Take his Raptors maybe, but nothing's going to happen there. Bot lane turret is going to go down though. And Gnar is going to take down that top tier 1. Maybe, but he's going to get collapsed on. He's going to get it, but he's going to get collapsed on. Let's see what happens.
The Wukong is on the behind, but it does mean the Mord's following. The Maokai are coming out. The TPs from red side are coming out. The Wukong's also there, taking down the clone. Is it going to be enough? Azir's in the back line with the Gnar. Sylas is going to jump on the Gnar, taking him down, getting him low. Wukong's going to finish it. In the back line, Mordekaiser's still fighting the Kaiser, getting them low, but it's just not enough.
That's what they needed. They needed something like that. They need some sort of catch, some sort of mistake. It was an overextension from the Gnar. He did get the turret though, so 700 gold for 2 kills. It's kind of similar actually. But you don't really want to be trading gold like that. Wait, he's going to get one shot here. Oh, 1 HP. He's going to die to Scorch. Doesn't die to Scorch. That's very
The potion just about saves Azir there. Keeping that potion for this kind of moment in the game is really smart. The refillable works really well. The Maokai attempt to throw an E out, disrupting the back of Azir, not letting him return, which is really smart play. But does this mean that tier 1 mid does fall down to B5 there?
Sylas not having the funnest game of his life, really. He's going to have to dodge this. Is he going to do it? He doesn't manage to get it up, or he doesn't have it up in time. He just dies. To the Corki. Sylas is really having a bad game here. 0-5, down 40 CS. I mean, let's see if he can pull it back. Maybe he can just get a wonder ult. Maybe he just takes Norda's ult, 5-man ult in the late game, stuns up the Corki. You never know what could happen. Bitfix is going to start up the grubs, see what they can do. Is there going to be any fight for it? Looks like there's not. Wukong is over the Raptors pit though. He's taking the Raptors, but is he going to go in for an engage over the Raptor pit? Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. He's going to take the red buff. Nordus is looking at him. Just a little bit of a trade. Take the Herald. I'm going to take your bot side. Pretty smart play from Wukong. Just narrowly misses that hook. And dodges that hook even. Going to start sieging down this turret in mid. Nordus is going to get in the driver's seat. See if he can take this mid turret down. He does actually take it down. It's just one hit, take down. Nordus is going to go for the next one. They are. They're going to put the Azir turret down, and they're going to try and take it down. Double knock up by the Nautilus inside of the Shelly. Azir does a disengage. Wukong one-shots him though. Triple stun from Syndra. Kaiser's going to jump into the backline. One shot Azir. The Azir turret is just wailing down on them. There comes the Nautilus ult that I talked about from the Sylas. Sylas is going to try and do what he can. Nara's about to hit Mega, and there's nothing else in this fight. Unless they try and do... Nope, it looks like there's nothing else in this fight. Another overextension that is punished by B5.
This is what I mean by the comebacks could be real. One team could get so cocky, start making those mistakes. B5 have finally clicked in. They have looked in. They are ready to make this comeback, and I believe for it.
Oh yeah, they really have like had a good time punishing these overextensions. Like they really are. Like you're trying to take my mid tier 2. It's a bit of a greedy thing to do, and it was a greedy thing to do. I wasn't expecting them to do it. They put the Azir turret down. They thought that was going to be enough to defend them. But Wukong, Syndra, Kai'Sa, Sylas, like they're just so strong at this like 15 to 25 minute mark that it's just the base damage that's able to do it. Now Kai'Sa's 4-0, Wukong is 3-1. You really don't want those champions to be strong.
It really was. They placed down the Azir turret, but they didn't play around the Azir turret. They were like still under the red tier 2, which to me was just maybe a misplay, an overextension like they did. But I don't think it was the right call. Obviously, Mordekaiser possibly being caught out here. Red team knows this. Burden's going to come out of the knock-up. Wukong's going to get the bonk on. Sylas is going to TP, attempt to make a play here, but Blue side are just going to give it up. Yeah, they're just going to say, I got my teammate out. Got my teammate out. He's just going to back away. Does come down to the mid contest. Does come down to the mid contest. Obviously, you want to have these prio and these waves. Red side going to get caught out. Kai'Sa getting knocked up. Airborne, rooted. Mordekaiser coming in, bunking out the Kai'Sa. Corki now turning on to the Syndra there. Maokai's ult is finally going to come out. Sylas is going to have to run away now using their Hex Tech, but it's not enough. Mordekaiser ults him. Gnar continues to fight. Sylas uses the Gnar ult, fighting Mordekaiser. B5 here have just run away. They can't contest that. They're just leaving Sylas to die. B5 getting the third Drake of the game, getting the 3-0 stop in the objectives right now.
Yeah.
Maokai just having to walk away. Not much he can do into all of them. Corki, though, have a misstepped into the Wukong blindly. The ult's coming out from Wukong, taking down the Corki, but is it what they want? Yes, he gets the shutdown, but he's going to die to the Gnar. The Ignite coming out from the Nautilus.
Wow. I mean, that's a good sequence. That's a good sequence for Bitfix there. They just managed to catch off Kai'Sa on that mid wave. That maybe she shouldn't be contested without a team there. And Nautilus gets a really big hook, really big ult comes out from him. And then I think there was more. There was a Mordekaiser. I'm pretty sure there was a Corki there. Like there's just so much there that just one shot Kai'Sa, and then that's the damage. Kai'Sa's the 4-1. Kai'Sa and Wukong.
Again, the blue team there, or both teams were fighting in the top river there, and they obviously moved down in sync. So you know, Bitfix knew where B5 were. B5 roughly knew where Bitfix were, and all it took was just that vision of seeing B5 just push that TP? Drake pit a little bit too early. The TP coming out from Nautilus.
I'm not sure about that. There's another mistake by Bitfix, and B5 are just going to say, okay, well, I'll take this free Nautilus kill, and I'm going to go after Khan, and you're going to have to fight me 4v5. Now who's going to engage on my Kai'Sa? Are you going to hook my Kai'Sa with what?
An interesting choice there from Fong. The Gnar TP coming out, but I think B5 just have that burst damage to where it's a bit too much.
Oh, he's
getting the smite out. The Maokai out coming out onto Bust, but it's not enough. Red team just back off, don't choose to fight it, but they're going to get caught out anyway by the Corki, by the Gnar. Burden's going to go down, unfortunately, making this a 4v4. Nautilus now running back from their base on his, trotting along, listening to some playlist of his, while Red team are busy fighting, running away. They're trying to escape. The Vision Bush comes out, sees the Sylas last second, but it isn't enough. Sylas just getting to the mid lane, just getting to where the heat of the fight is, but he's a bit too late. His timing's a bit off.
I mean, Atkalan's a big deal. It's a lot of XP. It's a lot of what is it? It's XP and it's damage jump, isn't it? It's a pretty big. It's a pretty strong objective to get, and to be behind as well. When you're looking at 3 minutes until pretty much your life is over. You've got 3 minutes until you've got to win that dragon fight, and it's a big step up. They got that XP. Maybe the Sylas that was 2 levels behind is now only 1 level behind. The Syndra's actually ahead in levels. Speaking of Syndra, trying to catch out this Azir now. Kai'Sa's going to look forward for it. Still there's a Shreem and Shuffle available for the Azir. Another big engage.
As it's going to go in, Wukong's going to get caught out. The Maokai is going to be soloed by himself again. He's going to flash over the wall, attempt to bait it out. Blue team going to continue pursuing him. There's not much he can do except go down. SGG's in the top lane here, attempt to go, and then there's Nub. There's Nub's expecting it. We've seen how this fight goes before. Is it going to be a repeat between Silas and Gnar? No, it's not. Blue team are going to start moving down, realizing that tier 3 doesn't offer them much here. They're going to see the tier 2 bot lane. They're going to see the wave crushing in. Red team are going to have to respond. B5, the E coming out from Syndra, but it's not enough. The Maud pool just completely rinses them all. Taking down 1, 2.
Kai'Sa's free hitting.
Taking down 2. Kai'Sa going down.
Kai'Sa!
Kai'Sa's focusing on the
Kai'Sa!
dodging the hook. Kai'Sa getting 2. Taking down 3. Is this going to be it? Red team crumbling, blue team crumbling more. Are they going to see the Mordekaiser behind? Kai'Sa's going to see it. Switch onto the Mordekaiser shield. Wukong's going to go down. Kai'Sa's by himself running. The sidestep are insane, dodging left, right. The Maokai out coming out. Is this going to be the saving grace for Kai'Sa? Yes, it is. Maokai's going to potentially go back in, going to W onto the Mordekaiser, stun them. The grab gets Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa kills them. Going down. Morde and Kai'Sa now on the chase against the Gnar bot side. Is this going to be enough? Maokai continuing to walk up slowly, taking their time. Kai'Sa contemplating it. Gnar's got Mega Form. It's not ideal. They're just going to run away. Oh my god.
That Kai'Sa he is demon mode. That's Gala reincarnated. I've seen that before. Kai'Sa doing absolutely everything, just completely free hitting in the back there, and they're all diving under turret as well. So the Syndra got a 3-man stun, hit the Azir. Azir's 1 HP and gets one shot by the Syndra ult. Then they're tanking turret with Nautilus, and Nautilus manages to go down. Meanwhile, I think it was Gnar was tanking. Nautilus was getting hit by Kai'Sa. Like Kai'Sa was just completely free hitting, and then manages to find a little window where Corki's not really noticing anything, and comes out of her invisibility and one-shots him. And that's the fight is so much easier to play for Kai'Sa. It's all on Kai'Sa's shoulders.
Kai'Sa just sidestepped the Naught Q. If the Naught Q would have hit, she would have gone down completely, with the Corki being right next to the Naught. But Naught just, in that crucial moment, missing that crucial hook, just led them to them losing the fight. Kai'Sa sidestepping, playing it basically perfectly, got feet like Michael Jackson, just, moonwalking across the lane and just picking up those free kills, going 7-1. She's got her third item compared to the Corki's 2.5.
It's a crazy win to get as well, right before the dragon. This is a must-win 10 seconds. They have got to win this fight. Azir is pushing up top lane. Going to recall and TP down, hopefully. Can they get this trap play? Can they do what they need to do? Can Syndra hit one more really big shot of the week? It's Azir.
Taking down the Azir, stopping the Azir from jumping into the backlines. B5 are playing this slowly. The Maokai ult coming in. The play on the engage onto the Silas, but there's the Shreem Shuffle comes out. The Kai'Sa ult comes out. The Gnar Mega Gnar misses. Wukong's ult coming out. Kai'Sa is going to shut down the Gnar. Mordekaiser is going to turn on the Wukong. The Wukong goes down. The Corki kills the Maokai. Everything's just exploding. The Azir in the backline taking down the Kai'Sa. B5 just have to be on the run now. Losing 3 members to 2. They just have to give this Drake. Do they? No. Syndra's going back in, getting a stun. The Shreem Shuffle coming out onto the Silas, and it's just that enough to push the Silas away, not let him get any damage. And this is Bitfix taking the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, that's a very big soul for them to get. It was a nice try, but once you understand as a team who the president is, who the guy is that you need to kill, it becomes so much easier to play the fights. Like, once you know, okay, we need to kill Kai'Sa, then you can use your Nautilus ult. You can use your Mordekaiser ult. You can jump with your Gnar. Like, the Scat of the Week was insanely well played by the Syndra. He knocked away the Gnar as he was ulting. And so that the ult didn't hit Kai'Sa, which was perfect. But now you don't have that for the Azir shuffle. Now you don't have it for the Corki engage or the Nautilus engage. Like there's so many things that Kai'Sa has to be aware of, and once you know that there's one guy there that you need to kill, you just kill him.
That fight was so split up there between B5. B5 had several targets they needed to go for, and they went for them individually. Whereas Bitfix knew the targets they needed to focus, like you said, and just took them down. The Silas in the front line jumping in, the Azir stopping that from happening, taking down the Silas from that, and obviously Wukong in the meantime is trying to deal with the bot side, just dropping ults, trying to knock them up, try and buy his team some time, but it just wasn't enough. Bitfix having that Corki perfectly. The Gnar's going to jump in onto the Syndra, get some burst damage onto the Syndra.
That's a lot
Is
of
this going
damage.
to be enough? It is going to be enough, but however, Red's going to be fighting here. The Sylas attempts to ult. The Shurima Shuffle is coming out from his ear. The Sylas jumping in, jumping over. Wukong's going to follow up. The Maokai is going to follow up. Is it going to be enough damage? Yes, it is to take down the Azir, but this does mean that Mordekaiser are now on the track. The Sylas is low. The Wukong's going in and ulting. The Corki's here. The Wukong's going to get taken down. Maokai and Sylas just have to flee like flies against blue team, taking them down. Kaiser's now against the Gnar. The Mega Gnar jumps in, knocks him into the wall. The barrier coming out. Nargis is going to keep pummeling. Kaiser's going to ult over the wall, get that shield. This does mean that melee versus range, Kaiser's going to be at the range, being able to eat over. Nar is going to jump over, going to follow through with that, but he's not going to get anything. Unfortunately, Sylas is here to back up the Kaiser, though, is the only thing that they can get. In the meantime, they are given Baron, which means that SCGS doesn't need to do something against Bust, but it's not enough. The burst coming down, the dodge is coming out. Baron to blue side. Sylas is taken down.
I mean, Buster's just 1v1 Syndra in top side. 1v1's the Kaiser, then 1v1'd. Then, I mean, finally he's going down. Finally somebody can take him out, and it's the Kaiser. But it's just like he 1v1'd the Sylas, he 1v1'd the Kaiser, he 1v1'd the Syndra, took Inhib, took turret. Like, this guy just did absolutely everything while his team was doing Baron. What? I mean, if I'm giving
it's
an MVP...
hard to say the MVP.
Yeah.
It's hard to say the MVP of this game here. We have Pointless out here absolutely playing like a demon, taking down that Gnar, but then we have the Gnar on the other side just completely taking your base. What one would you prefer? Would you prefer the kill or your base?
I mean, definitely the MVP is decided by who wins the game, because Gnar is 100% the MVP of Bitfix, right? And the Kaiser is 100% the MVP for the side. Oh, he's going in for an engage.
Wukong is going to come in here. The ult's coming out. The Shurima Shuffle is going to come out. The Nautilus ult onto the Kaiser is going to knock both the Wukong and the Nautilus ult. The Maokai is going to jump in the backline, try and take down that Corki, but it's not going to be enough. The Azir is going to take down the Syndra. The Kaiser is going to ult over the wall, get that range away from Nautilus. Sylas is going to finally turn up to the fight. Going to be a bit too late. Nautilus is going to miss the hook. The Sylas stealing the Mordekaiser ult. Is this going to be useful? No, it isn't, because it means that B5 has to be on the run. The Maokai having to flash there, dropping the knock up, but Kaiser is on the run. Mordekaiser is on the trail, going to just hunt down this Kaiser. Is it going to be enough? No. Nautilus is going to hex flash. The hook comes out. Hooks the Kaiser. Mordekaiser just going to take down the Kaiser like that. Like 1-2 or Buckaroo, you're going to be down. Now it's going to be Mordekaiser and the Maokai on the side. It's just going to be taking them down. It's just going to be a little fist fight. It's not going to be enough, though. The Mordekaiser passive is going to eventually do enough damage. The side's going to sidestep it, heal, but it's not going to be enough. The Mordekaiser shield just comes out, and blue team just completely destroy the base, taking the win for the finals. You have your open TeamDiffOpen finalists.
Not even finalists. Finalist winners is Bitfix.
Finalist winners, Bitfix Gaming.
What a game. That was a very good game. That was like the closest one we've seen all day, which is, it's very nice that we saw that in the finals, you know? And it's all on the back of that Kaiser and that Wukong really like putting in their all, putting their effort. Unfortunately, the Sylas pick didn't quite work out the way that they wanted it to. I think it definitely can. Probably in the stats, it says that Sylas beats Gnar. Maybe he doesn't know the matchup very well. Maybe he just got really unlucky. But yeah, this game wasn't the best for the Sylas, but he tried his best, and congratulations to Btifix Gaming as the TeamDiffOpen champions.